Hello everybody, Becca Ranger here, and today, I'm sorry about the random freaking clicking, I'm going to be reading the book that I wrote. It's a Mello X Near Death Note fanfiction. I ship them like I've never shipped anyone before. So I've been writing fanfiction. I only written one chapter, but I think it's actually pretty good. So yeah, Chapter 1, A Damn Good Book. Near's point of view. Is it strange that I followed Mello everywhere? Discreetly peeking around corners, hoping that he wouldn't catch me looking at him? Is it strange that I, one of the most rule-abiding children at Whammy's, had snuck out of my room last night and walked a mile to the store to buy a dozen chocolate bars? Mello had finally stopped at the deserted library, picked out a book, and sat down to read. The chocolate was going to melt if I didn't do this, I realized, feeling the candy softening in my pocket. I took a deep breath and approached Mello. He didn't even acknowledge me as I sat down next to him. I tapped his shoulder. "Mello?" I asked, timidly. He looked up from his book, annoyance playing over his face. "What do you want, Near?" he asked, a mean undertone in his voice. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the candy and handed it to him. "Here," I said, smiling a little. He just looked at me incredulously. Thanks, I think," he muttered. "Sure," I replied. Mello unwrapped one of the chocolate bars and began to eat it while reading. I noticed a strand of his blonde hair had fallen down and was hanging in front of his nose. I subconsciously reached up and tucked it behind his ear. To my surprise, Mello didn't get angry or defensive, but on the contrary, as soon as my fingers brushed the skin under his ear, he shivered at my touch. "What are you reading?" I asked quietly. He didn't answer, but he showed me the cover of his book. It was called A Child Called It. Seriously, guys, you need to read this book. It's such a good book. Oh my god, it's great. Okay, sorry. Commentary. Mello's point of view. As I went back to reading, Near leaned over to read my book as well. And unfortunately, it wasn't a very comfortable position. But I just shifted my body and put my arm around Near, allowing Near to rest his head on my collarbone. I pulled Near closer and nuzzled his white hair. He smelled good, like raspberries and lemons. I suddenly understood why Near always played with his hair. It was so soft and silky. Before this moment, when I thought of Near, I thought of a lifeless, cold, robotic shell with no pulse. But I could feel his breathing, his warmth, and I liked it. I felt his hand gingerly rest itself in the center of my chest, just above my racing heart. I set my book down, and then with my newly freed hand, reached up and cradled Near's face, gently lifting up his chin. His dark gray eyes met my bright blue ones. Why am I doing this? I thought to myself. Then all thought left my mind as I leaned in and pressed my lips to his. No one's point of view. Hearts racing, faces burning, the two boys broke apart, but only after their lungs were burning with the need for oxygen. Mello's point of view. I heard footsteps walking towards us. I rested my head against Near's for a second before moving my arms and body, then picking my book back up and pretending I was reading. Both Near and I had gone back into the Near reading over Mello's shoulder position as soon as Roger turned the corner. He looked at us, eyes widened and mouth slightly gaping. This is probably because I'm the one who always bullies Near, but I wasn't. Not this time. Not even close. I looked up at Roger's wide, incredulous eyes and simply stated, "What? It's a damn good book."